If you've been looking for a simple, proven and tested, step-by-step method for generating more leads for your business, then listen to every word in this presentation. I want you to stop for a moment and think about all the advertising you've seen over the past week. How many of those actual ads can you name off? Researchers estimate that over the past 7 days, you've been exposed to as many as 117,000 ads based on national averages. So out of 117,000 ads, how many can you name? If you're fairly attentive, you may be able to come up with 3 or 4 specific ads. But I'll bet that's because you've probably seen those ads over and over, week in and week out. Let's face the facts. Repetition works. When you see any advertisement multiple times every day, you're bound to eventually begin to recall the ad. But now, answer this question. What few ads do you remember? How many of their products or services have you bought? I'll admit that I personally love the E-Trade baby commercials that were on TV and YouTube. I think they're a scream. If I hear one of their ads, I'd come into the other room, regardless of what I was doing. But I don't have an E-Trade account. Never have, never will. Why should I? What benefits do they offer me as a buyer of online trading services that any of hundreds of other stock trading services offer? See my point? Does a smart aleck, wisecracking baby have any relevance to online stock trading whatsoever? Of course not. So why does E-Trade continue to make these commercials? Believe it or not, there is a reason, and by the end of this short presentation, you'll fully understand what that reason is. Businesses today are led to believe that all they have to do to build a successful business is create some type of attention-grabbing form of marketing, and they'll generate leads at will. Nothing could be further from the truth, and this is just in the area of marketing. What about generating fast cash flow? Every small business needs to generate fast cash flow. So how do you do that as a small business owner? What about generating profit? Generating more cash is great, but not if you don't get to put any of it in your pocket at the end of the day. How would you like answers to all of these problems? How would you like it if I could cut through all the hype, eliminate the BS, and give you our proven step-by-step roadmap for making your phone ring, herding prospects to your website, and marketing your business successfully? I'm going to reveal to you the 3 biggest lead generation mistakes business owners make and show you how you can overcome them all. So here are the 3 mistakes. Mistake number 1, they fail to get professional help. Mistake number 2, they don't know the fundamentals required to successfully market their business and attract as many clients as their business can handle. And mistake number 3, they have no idea how to use their marketing to generate immediate cash flow. So let's explore these 3 in depth, and I'll show you how you can easily and systematically overcome them all. Mistake number 1, small business owners fail to get professional help. Can you name me just one professional athlete who doesn't have a coach? Well, there aren't any. Tiger Woods actually has 9 coaches guiding him in everything from his golf game to his financial investments. But do small business owners really need professional help? Remember the TV ads we previously discussed? Those ads were created by professionals. Unfortunately, those professionals have no clue about what they're doing. Everything they're doing in marketing and advertising today is wrong. But let me prove that to you right now. Okay, if you currently use any form of marketing, such as a print ad, brochure, postcard, or flyer, or for that matter, your company website, take it out and look at it carefully. And if you don't have any form of marketing right now, stop this presentation for just a few minutes and take out a sheet of paper and sketch what you think would make an effective ad for your business. It doesn't have to be anything fancy or formal. Just create a basic outline of the ad and where you would locate the various elements on the page. Stop this presentation and do it now. Okay, welcome back. Now that you have your ad, or a mock-up of your ad sitting in front of you, let me provide you with the little-known secrets that produce more leads than your business can handle. 99% of all marketing professionals don't know the lead generation secrets I'm about to reveal to you. This information is so powerful and compelling it will position you in the top 1% of all lead generation professionals today. This example will show you why every business owner should acquire our step-by-step roadmap as they start to generate leads for their business. Here's what a true marketing professional will know and help you implement into your marketing. It's known as the marketing equation. Our marketing equation will let you quit competing on price and let you start selling your product or service for what it's really worth. You'll drive in more leads and increase your advertising response by 10 to more than 100 times. You'll convert a higher percentage of those leads and dramatically increase your number of sales. you'll get a bigger bang for your marketing buck. The bottom line is this: you'll literally create a profit faucet that you will have total control over. First, you must understand what marketing is supposed to do. Its purpose is actually threefold. Its first job is to capture the attention of your target market. Second, it must give them hope that reading or listening to your marketing will give them enough information to help them make the best decision possible when buying whatever you sell. In other words, train and teach them how to recognize the true value of your product or service and conclude that you, and you alone, offer the best value versus your competition. Marketing's third job is to lower the risk of taking the next step in the buying process, and if necessary, continue to educate the prospect regarding the value you offer. Marketing that accomplishes these three objectives will result in your prospects and customers coming to one single conclusion: that they'd have to be an absolute fool to do business with anyone else but you, regardless of price. It's estimated that as many as 96% of all businesses fail in the first 5 years. The main reason for this tremendously high failure rate has to do with the lack of expertise when it comes to generating leads and making the phone ring. Most small businesses don't know anything about these three things we just discussed that marketing is supposed to do. But there's an additional problem to consider. Most business owners use a tactical approach instead of a strategic approach. Let me explain. Running an ad in the local newspaper, sending out an email or direct mail, airing a radio or TV ad on local media stations are all examples of tactical marketing. Now don't get me wrong, the newspaper, radio, direct mail can be successful marketing channels if your marketing message is powerful and compelling. But that's the problem. The message is the strategic side of marketing, and yet it's the most neglected. This distinction between strategic and tactical marketing is huge, and one you have to be acutely aware of any time you start talking about generating more leads. Many companies mistakenly assume that when you talk about lead generation, you're automatically talking about tactical lead generation. Placing ads, sending out mailers, joining a networking group, attending trade shows, implementing a prospect follow-up system, and so on. They fail to realize that the strategic side of the coin, what you say in your marketing and how you say it, is almost always more important than the marketing medium where you say it. If you fail to make this distinction, then you risk becoming jaded towards certain forms of marketing and advertising that should be part of your tactical plan, but you eliminate them from consideration because they haven't worked in the past. When lead generation results are less than optimal, small business owners tend to always blame the marketing medium, like the newspaper the ad ran in or postcards they sent out. They blame the tactical part of the plan without any regard for how good or bad the strategic messaging in the marketing piece was. People often say things like, "We tried radio and it doesn't work for our kind of business," or "We sent out 50,000 pieces of direct mail and only generated 3 orders. It just doesn't work." Just because it didn't work, don't assume it won't work. Most people don't have the evaluation skills or the know-how to judge whether poor marketing results from poor strategy or poor tactical execution. This is where our step-by-step roadmap can generate more leads than your business can handle. For example, most small business owners rely heavily on platitudes in their marketing. They say things like, "We have the lowest prices, the best service, we're family-owned and operated, we offer convenient hours, the best value, not to mention we've been in business since 1431 BC. Look at your own marketing that I asked you to acquire or create earlier. How many platitudes did you use in your own marketing?" And by the way, this is not your fault. Small business owners have been conditioned to think that this is the proper way to market their business, since most advertising follows the same pathetic marketing formula, including the Fortune 500 types. As human beings, we're all after just one thing when we buy something: the best deal. Unfortunately, when you use platitudes in your marketing, there's absolutely no way to tell who is actually offering the best deal. Everyone says they have the lowest prices, the highest quality, the best rates. So who do you believe? There's only one way to know, and that's to research every single business that offers what you want to buy. How many of us have the time or patience to do just that? So most of us just automatically assume that everyone is pretty much the same, and therefore we default to calling on the businesses that offer the lowest price. When you can't communicate the true value of your business, you're doomed to forever compete on price. Our marketing equation will change all of that for you forever. It's going to be the backbone of your strategic marketing plan. It's the foundation on which everything else we build for you is based. So let me give you a quick overview and then spend some time going through it with you in detail. Our marketing equation has four main components. First, we must interrupt your prospects. We must get your qualified prospects to pay attention to your lead generation marketing. Simple enough to say, but a lot more difficult to pull off in real life unless you understand what you're about to learn here. The interrupt is done through your headline if your marketing is in print, or it's the first thing you say if you're marketing through radio and TV. The second component is engage. Once your prospect is interrupted, it's critical to give your reader the promise that information is forthcoming that will help your prospect make the best buying decision possible. In other words, it must help facilitate their decision to pick you over anyone else. This is the job of the subheadline. The interrupt is our headline that highlights a specific problem that your prospects are looking for a solution to, and the engage is our subheadline that promises that you offer a solution to the problem we mentioned in our headline. The third component we need to include is educate. Once we've interrupted and engaged your prospect, we have to give them the information that allows them to logically understand how and why you solve the problem they're facing. This is accomplished by giving detailed, quantifiable, specific, and revealing information. This is typically done in the body copy of your ad. When we educate, we need to reveal to your prospects the important and relevant information they need to know when making a good decision, and that your business, and your business alone, provides it to them. The interrupt, engage hit the prospect's emotional hot buttons. Educate is the logic they need to justify picking up the phone and calling you. The fourth and final component of our marketing equation is your offer. Now that we've interrupted your prospect based on problems that are important to them, engaged by a promise of the solution, and they've examined the educational information that makes your solution real and believable, the last step we need to take is to give them a low-risk way to take the next step in the sales process. We do this by offering a free marketing tool, such as a report, brochure, seminar, audio, video, or something that will continue to educate them. Your offer will allow your prospect to feel in control of their final decision to buy from you. So our marketing equation is interrupt, engage, educate, and offer. And together, they equal market domination. Now here's the problem. Most marketing today contains only two of these components. They interrupt by throwing something at you that's either familiar, like Tiger Woods, or unusual, like a monkey or talking pets. Sometimes they use both, as in the case of the E-Trade baby commercials. Then once they grab your attention, they make you some type of offer such as call now for whatever. They have left out the engage and the educate, and marketing seldom works when that happens. In fact, the only time this type of marketing does succeed is when you can afford to run the ad over and over non-stop for an extended period of time. Plop, plop, fizz, fizz, melts in your mouth, not in your hand, things go better with Coke have literally been rammed down our throats by Fortune 500 types. After hearing these slogans thousands of times, of course we're going to remember them. But how many can a small business owner like you that doesn't have a billion-dollar marketing budget successfully market your business? The answer is you can't unless you follow our entire marketing equation. Here's a simple example to prove this to you. Years ago, there was a moving company that was on the verge of bankruptcy. They were paying $3,000 a month for a full-page ad in their Yellow Pages directory. They were averaging just 70 calls a month, and their conversion ratio was only 16%. So out of 70 calls every month, they were only getting 11 moving jobs. No wonder they were starving. The reason their ad wasn't working was their failure to follow our marketing equation. In fact, the only marketing equation component they had in their ad was an offer, and the offer was call us, and they listed their phone number. They had no interrupt at the top of their ad whatsoever, just the name of their company. Then they listed all the generic Me Too services that every one of their competitors also listed in their ad. Things like local and long distance, residential and commercial, reliable and careful, fully licensed and insured, free estimates, quality services at reasonable rates, complete packing services, local, regional, national, and so on. Then at the bottom of the ad was their phone number. Again, look at your own marketing that I asked you about earlier. Does your marketing format sound exactly the same as the one the moving company was using? Did you place the name of your business at the top? List your products or services in the middle, along with a layer of worthless and meaningless platitudes such as lowest cost, highest quality, and best rate. 99% of all small businesses follow this exact format, and then they wonder why they aren't generating any quality leads. If you want your phone to start ringing, you must follow our marketing equation of interrupt, engage, educate, and offer. So using our equation, this moving company redesigned this lead generating ad, and here's what happened. First, they identified the biggest problem their customers had when moving. Without hesitation, it was damage. 72% of all moves result in something being damaged. That's the area they needed to focus on and create what we call a market-dominating position around that hot button issue. But why is damage such an important issue, since all moving companies listed in the Yellow Pages say they're fully insured? Well, it turns out that all movers must be fully insured, but that the general public has no idea what fully insured really means. When you hear someone say that they're fully insured, don't you automatically assume that that means if they break your $5,000 HD TV, they're going to reimburse you $5,000? I certainly would. Well, it turns out that in the moving business, that isn't what fully insured means at all. Legally, a moving company can claim that they're fully insured their customers' belongings based on a per pound of damage. The national average is 40 cents per pound. So in other words, if a mover destroys your $5,000 100-pound HD TV, they're only legally obligated to pay you $40. Unfortunately, the poor, unsuspecting customer doesn't find that out until after the damage has taken place, and they receive their minuscule reimbursement. But for this specific moving company, this policy was never an issue because they didn't believe in this deceptive industry practice. They actually provide their customers with what's known as full replacement value insurance. If they break your $5,000 HD TV, you're reimbursed $5,000, no questions asked. But how could they afford this much more expensive insurance? It was due to their extraordinary three-step packing process that only their company offered, and thanks to this process, their actual breakage and damage totals were below 3%. And what little damage did occur typically involved a broken dish or plate. Relatively minor items that had no replacement costs and certainly no sentimental value that would create an emotional situation for their customers. Their unique packing process allowed them to carry a $5,000 insurance deductible, and their premiums for the superior insurance were actually lower than their competitors paid for the inferior and deceptive insurance. Their three-step packing process, coupled with their superior full replacement value insurance coverage, became their market-dominating position. All that's left is to position that information in their ad to follow our marketing equation. Let's first create a headline for the top of their ad, the interrupt. This must address the main hot-button issue or problem that their prospects are looking to solve, in this case, damage. So the headline should say something like this. Last year, more than 4,000 damage and negligent lawsuits were filed against moving companies by outraged homeowners. Think that headline will grab the attention of a prospective mover? You bet. But let's not stop there. Let's engage the prospect by promising them a solution to the problem we referenced in the headline. In this case, damage prevention. What do you think of this sub-headline? Ask any mover these two questions to ensure you won't be victimized or ripped off by deceptive industry practices. Now, when a prospect reads this headline, do you think they'll want to immediately find out what these two questions are? Of course they will. Now let's educate them by providing them with two questions that the prospect can ask any mover when they choose to contact. What about these two questions? Do you follow a minimum 5-step packing process for every item you place in your truck? And second, do you carry full replacement value insurance? We already know that their competition's answer to both of these questions is no, since this mover had previously surveyed them all. This ad educates prospects on the realities of what takes place in the moving industry and highlights this moving company's market-dominating position that makes them the obvious choice to do business with. Their offer was a free moving company comparison checklist that highlights the survey they did, showing the prospects that they were the only moving company in town that offered all of these desired benefits. This will make them the no-brainer choice in the moving industry, and the results they generated from this new Yellow Pages ad sealed the deal. Instead of averaging just 70 calls per month, their new ad averaged 955 calls a month. Instead of a 16% conversion ratio, their rate jumped to 68%. Their new ad generated so many new clients asking for their services, they had to partner with 4 of their competitors to handle the increased volume. And listen to this. Those 4 competitors bought this company out 9 months later for $2.3 million. All of this from simply changing the strategic messaging in their Yellow Pages ad, and without spending an extra cent. This is why every small business needs to seek out our professional help. But finding professional help is often frustrating, and at times a crapshoot at best. That's why I wanted to teach you our marketing equation of interrupt, engage, educate, and offer. The moving company trained their prospects on the relevant and important issues they needed to know when moving, so those prospects knew what to ask when they sought out the services of a mover. Now you know our marketing equation to use when seeking out the professional help you need for your business. A true professional will know this equation, and if they don't, run away as fast as you can. And by the way, did you notice that in the information we just discussed, we also covered mistakes number 2 and 3? Earlier, I said that the second biggest mistake small business owners make involved the fact that they don't know the fundamentals required to successfully market their business and attract as many new clients as their business can handle. Well, now you do know the fundamentals. You can use them to outmarket and outsell your competition. First, create a market-dominating position for your business, and then insert that position into your marketing by following our marketing equation to the letter. And the third biggest mistake small business owners make focused on the fact that they have no idea how to use their marketing to generate immediate cash flow. When you follow our marketing equation in every form of marketing that you do, from your business cards to your company website, the financial results are instantaneous and immediate. Consider the following example. Consider a recent situation involving Dr. John Smith, a child psychologist who specialized in helping parents with out-of-control kids. You know the kids I'm talking about, don't you? The ones at the store that are yelling, screaming, throwing a tantrum, and completely out of control. These kids range in age from 6 years old up to teenagers. Dr. Smith's original website had all the classic mistakes that are typical in small businesses today. He had the name of his practice at the top of his site. The only thing even resembling what you might call a headline said, "Parenting Advice and Resources from Dr. John Smith." Does that headline really appeal to a parent who's dealing with screaming and out-of-control kids? Would that headline hit their emotional hot button? Do they really care anything at all right now about advice and resources? Or are his prospects looking for a solution to their problem? Remember, you must always start your marketing with an interrupting headline that focuses on the problem your prospects are experiencing. Then you must have a subheadline that engages the prospect by promising them that there is a solution to that problem. Remember our first 2 marketing equation components, interrupt and engage. That's the job of the headline and the subheadline, and this applies to every form of marketing, including websites. Dr. Smith's headline, Parenting Advice and Resources from Dr. John Smith, does not address the problems his frustrated parents are experiencing with their child. And to make matters worse, his website has no subheadline at all, so there's no way for him to engage his prospects and keep them interested. In fact, it's doubtful that any prospect visiting his site will stay here for more than a few seconds. The third component of our marketing equation says to educate the prospect. This simply means that you must educate them with what it is that makes your product or service so much better than your competition. On a website, this is done with either the body copy or, in Dr. Smith's case, by the video. Just make it short and sweet when it's the first point of contact. You can then offer much more information once you've compelled them to want to know more about what you do. And the final component of our marketing equation is your offer. A low-risk, or better yet, no-risk offer gets them to take a specific action, such as request more information, take a test drive, register for a free 30-day trial, an educational presentation, or similar offer. The key here is to make the offer so compelling that it's literally impossible for the prospect to say no. In fact, you want them to be thinking to themselves that they'd have to be an absolute fool not to take your offer. Dr. Smith's offer was a white paper titled The Secret for Parents, a special report on how to learn the secrets of nurturing well-behaved children. Well, here's the problem. His prospects don't have well-behaved children. They have the ones that are screaming, yelling, belligerent, back-talking, and completely out of control. Nurturing a well-behaved child is not the solution they're looking for. Getting their kid under control right now, that's what they're looking for. Can you see why Dr. Smith's website failed him in every area? The site wasn't building his business. It wasn't helping him generate leads, attract new clients, or generate additional revenue for his practice. It simply doesn't follow our marketing equation. So Dr. Smith changed his website so that it did follow our proven step-by-step method. He placed a headline at the top of his site that said, "Are you sick and tired of the yelling, screaming, and belligerent attitude of your child?" Would you say this headline hits the major hot button for virtually every prospective parent that comes to this site? Do you think that these prospects, the moment they read that headline, will immediately think to themselves that they've just come to the right place where they can find a solution to their problem? In other words, did this headline just interrupt Dr. Smith's prospects? Of course it did. Now let's engage those prospects by promising them a solution in the subheadline. It says, "Now you can discover the secrets to controlling your child and instantly restore peace and quiet in your home." Isn't that what your prospects want and will do almost anything to get? Absolutely. See how the headline and subheadline work together to interrupt and engage every single prospect who comes to this site. Now that they're engaged, the video can spend 1 to 3 minutes reinforcing the fact that our good doctor has the solution they so desperately seek, and his offer has been changed. So it's not only more relevant to the prospect's situation, but so compelling it's virtually irresistible. The offer says, "Learn the secrets to gaining and maintaining complete control of your child in less than 60 seconds. Show me just one prospective parent visiting the site that won't download that report. They all will. And when they do, Dr. Smith captures their contact information so he can continue to keep his prospects informed until they're ready to buy his services. This revised website exploded Dr. Smith's business to unprecedented levels. And best of all, our marketing equation can work for your business as well, producing immediate results. So, to quickly recap, the 3 biggest lead generation mistakes small businesses make are: number 1, they fail to get professional help. Number 2, they don't know the fundamentals required to successfully market their business and attract as many clients as their business can handle. And number 3, they have no idea how to use their marketing to generate immediate cash flow. Our marketing equation contains the fundamental components for instantly making your phone ring and positioning your business as the dominant force in your market. It provides the marketing foundation that will enable you to generate immediate cash flow, and small businesses can use this information as a minimum standard when seeking out professional help for their business. When you can overcome these 3 biggest lead generation mistakes, you'll generate all the leads your business can handle.